Like I never wear mouth guard.
Really?
Never.
Why?
I just don't give a fuck. You know, if I get a tooth knocked out, I'll get a gold tooth. It looks sick.
That would look sick.
You know, so I'm pretty good with the head placement. Like I've never really. The only time where I've regretted not having one in is somebody's wrapped me up in like a guillotine or something, and my tongue's been kind of out and like crushing my head. Like I said, I'm biting down into my tongue. You know, but generally, I feel pretty good about avoiding any kind of like head-to-head contact or whatever. I'm always very cautious of where my head placement is, and my head's always tight to guys too. So, it's not
less scrambling.
Yeah. So yeah.
I guess I mean, the chances of getting knocked in the mouth is low.
Right, but CJI on the weekend, Wagner Rocha, he got a chicklet knocked right the fuck out. You see that?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was the first night. Guys, Wagner Rocha is a salty dog, man. He's like, like the New Wave team got him on this team because he's like impossible to submit. Apparently, he's had. I think somebody said, I don't know what the exact stats are, but in his last like 114 matches, he hasn't been submitted.
Holy shit!
So he's wrestling. Who's he wrestling with? I forget who he was wrestling with now, but it might have been the American team or something like that. But I think it was head-to-head contact while they were wrestling, and then the tooth goes flying out, and it wasn't like the whole tooth came out; it cracked it off. So that's almost worse. You almost want the whole tooth to come out. But,
yeah, that's gonna hurt.
So he's like, "Oh." And he goes like this, and he goes and he picks up the tooth. And he goes and like hands it off or whatever, and then they just slap hands, and they have like a little chuckle and go right back at it. But he's a rough man. Like he's super fucking tough. That guy.
He's 43, I think.
Yeah, I think he was the oldest guy in the tournament. So, and in the finals, he matched up with Victor Hugo. And Victor Hugo had him in a full, like cranking him, like really compressing him down too, like right over, like this part of his jaw looked painful, and his head was going like purple, and he didn't care. He was like, you have to like put that guy out unconscious. Like,
they worked through it.
He's not going to tap to anything. That guy.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah,
he's an impressive guy. It was. Seeing everybody come out and they're like in their 20s, and then he came out and he was in his 40s.
Yeah, because the athleticism, that was one thing that was, I think, is probably the most striking thing when you see like the best of the best compete like that, is how athletic everybody is, and how dynamic their movements are, the flexibility in their hips, their hip flexors, like 𝐬𝐿𝐫𝐿, like his legs, like you look at his hips and his legs go like easily just kind of fold back.
Yeah.
So how do you pass that guy's guard? It's like when his legs are as articulate as basically his arms, right? So
the level is insane. I was watching I missed Helena's match, so I watched it the next day. She has her body. There's a term for it. They say it about gymnasts when they're like doing flips and they can control how they land.
Right. It's their spatial awareness.
Yeah. But like, and her flexibility.
Yeah.
Like that I think she tapped her out with an ankle lock.
That's the only match I missed because Nick, we were watching it at our gym, and Nick attacked me from behind. And we had like a 10-minute roll. And we're in our like full clothing. Like he's, I had like jeans on and shit, and then we're sweaty as fuck then for like the and we increased the general temperature in the room too, like stinking the place up. So yeah, I missed that one.
That was fun watching jiu-jitsu, and then you guys had like a phone light going.
Yeah,
people were rolling.
Yeah. It was a good time, man. I love that event, but like it's tough when it comes on here at 10:30.
Yeah.
And I don't think we got out of there till like 4.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So
wow.
But
I left at 2. I was done.
Right.
Really tired.
Yeah.
I gave Rodney my last drink and headed out.
You know, like I love that team format. I know like people have been critical of it, but I really enjoy that.
It's exciting.
I love seeing the mismatches.
Big time.
And how powerful jiu-jitsu is. Like that Dorian Oliveira.
The giant killer.
19 years old, this guy. 19 years old, and he's just mauling Felipe Pena. Like mauling him. Like jumping all. It reminded me of like Yoda. You remember Yoda in one of the Star Wars movies where he's fighting the Count Dooku guy, and he's like
flipping around
him and stuff like that. And he's just putting it on him. And Felipe Pena was gassed. He was blown sky high,
dude. He was like a rabid pit bull, like taking different positions and constantly putting his hand over his nose and mouth. Like bullying him. Yeah. Like
that style for MMA, like I'd love to see that guy in MMA. His center of gravity too, and how he moves. So I don't know how you deal with a guy like that, you know? And if you'd added strikes into his fight with Felipe Pena, like, you know, it'd be over, right? Man. So, you know, Felipe Pena was coming in off of just tapping Pato, and Pato is, you know, he's sick. You know, that guy's super slick submission artist. And or it wasn't Pato. I think I'm fucking that up, am I?
He tapped a much smaller guy before.
Oh, so I got the teams mixed up. So Griffiths submitted Pato, and then Pena came in, submitted, or then took Griffiths the distance. Or something like that. I think I'm. So Griffiths submitted Pato, then Griffiths came in. I think Pena submitted Griffiths, and Oliveira came in and then just put the sauce on him.
Mauled him, and he was almost. He looked like a child.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Like where else would you be able to see that type of jiu-jitsu versus such a larger opponent? Other than that team format. I mean, you could do an absolute, but at the same time, like, you know, I feel like those matches are still fairly rare. Like I remember Marcelo Garcia back in the day in ADCC absolute, like taking out guys like, who was it? It's a big dude. He fought in the UFC.
What year?
Oh, this is a long time ago. This is like 20 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe more.
The Tank Abbott days. And
not too far off of that. This guy, he was a UFC champion, I think, at one point. Anyways, but Marcelo took his back, and he was standing. So he was standing with Marcelo on his back, and he jumps back and slams Marcelo. Which was illegal. Like, you couldn't do that. And then Marcelo like just put the sauce on him, submitted him. That was cool to see, right? But yeah, it was a fun event. It was just I think the MCs and the kind of the production side of things. I think those people were kind of green, where the event was kind of not rolling along quick enough. There's a lot of kind of waiting around at times.
Yeah.
And
second year though, I mean, they got to get the bugs out.
Yeah. But the Renato Laranja skits were a bit crazy, you know.
He's my favorite part of CJI.
Is he? Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
I find him hilarious.
I find him hilarious too. It can be like people would get rattled if they don't, because everybody's in on it. You know, and everybody knows Renato Laranja in the jiu-jitsu community, like, and but like seeing him like kiss Danaher on his like head, like like that is so fun. And he's looking at Danaher's bald head, and he's like, he says something like, "I can see your brain through your through your skull," or something like that, your brain work or something like that. And but he's been around forever. He's a black belt. He's been a black belt for a long time.
Crazy. He's like, he could be a comedic actor.
Yeah.
He's so good.
Well, he is an actor.
Is he? Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
He acted in like soap operas like Days of Our Lives and shit.
Get the fuck out of here. Wow.
Yeah. And so so he's a silly person, you know. And I remember the first time I ever saw him, way back in the day, is he like storms Eddie Bravo's gym, and Eddie Bravo was like pranking his students, I think. And so Renato Laranja comes in, he's got his black belt on with like 20 stripes on it. And he wasn't a black belt then. And he starts like, you know, he's like, Eddie Bravo. And he's like starts like criticizing him and stuff and about his style of jiu-jitsu. And then Eddie Bravo gets upset, and then they go at it, and Eddie taps him, or Eddie, I think he maybe triangle choked him unconscious, and but it was fake or whatever. And he's like, "That's what you get," and he like rolls him over or whatever. And but a lot of people thought that was real back in the day. They thought like that took a long time for people to come to grips with. And then another one, he confronts Joe Rogan when Joe Rogan's like in the change room, like just got out of the shower, and he's like waiting for him as he's getting ready to get out of the shower, and he starts like just pestering Joe Rogan.
Is that the one like he's talking about weed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not real.
No, that's not real.
Okay.
No.
I watched that in the early days of the internet.
Yeah, people thought that was real too.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Who's this fucking Brazilian guy? He's crazy.
Yeah,
like, he's retarded, right?" Yeah. Like, but he's not Brazilian at all. So
man, his Brazilian accent is amazing.
Yeah, because Laranja is, I think that's orange in Brazil or in Portuguese.
Okay.
And his name is Rasan Orange, you know, so that's his last name is actually Orange.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, like he's trying to fill time, you know, and he's saying crazy shit. Like the DeBlas stuff was kind of crazy, you know. So
oh man,
that was super awesome.
He's like, yeah, he talks about he was molested as a kid.
Yeah.
He's like, you must have been a attractive young man.
Yeah, handsome young man.
Yeah. What? And then like when he goes to shake his hand, he's like smelling him, kissing his cheek.
Yeah.
Fuck,
and then Gabby Garcia, she's like drunk and like running around.
She was hammered. Yeah.
You know, so she was out of control. And I don't think they knew how to really control her, because she was kind of like running around and like coming out after Craig's match and, you know, getting involved in like the in the decision at the end after Craig put Chael out twice, you know. So
do you think that was real?
Man, I wasn't sure. Like after the second one, I'm like, are they fucking with us? Like, I don't know. But
I got a feeling. I don't know.
the first, like, I didn't get a great look at the second buggy choke, but the first buggy choke was super tight.
Yeah,
it looked
that was
super
a tight
tight
one.
And then Craig it's almost like he can't help himself. Like you buggy choke him in 30 seconds into the match, and it's super impressive to stop a guy like Chael like that. And even though Chael's almost 50, like he looked great. Like looked like he was in great shape.
He's lean.
Yeah,
he looks great.
Comes out, cuts a heel promo on the crowd, gets the crowd booing him. You know, I wish he had touched on more wrestling. Like, I'm going to show you, like, you know, that wrestling is the ultimate, like martial art or whatever.
Yeah, especially after is it Gaines?
Gable Stevenson. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
Gable dropped out.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in that guy. You know, I don't know a whole, like, you know, I love watching him compete in wrestling, but how the fuck is an Olympic gold medalist going to let turf toe stop him from competing in a competition?
I'm starting to wonder, because when in CJI 1, when he did that skit with Gabby,
mm-hmm.
you know, he could have choked her a million times.
Yeah, he was playing with her for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like they did the same thing with Chael. I was kind of like, was that kind of a build-up? And then it was kind of planned that he would never come? Because that would have been a real match.
No. Yeah, Gable really fucked him on that, right? So I think I heard Craig talk about it where, like, Craig is just, like, I love him. Like, the amount of effort he put into the promotion, and that was kind of thing. Like, it's almost like he was doing all the promotion for it. Like, would like to see some of the other athletes kind of step up and make some content or promote it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But Craig like flew out to Gable and like shot this kind of promo with him. And then after that promo, Craig said that Gable wasn't doing anything at all. Like, what was barely speaking about it. I think I saw Gable do one interview where he said he was going to win, or said he was talking confidently about it, but then apparently he went like kind of radio silent after that.
I wonder if Dana White had something to do with that.
What's that?
I wonder if Dana White had something to do with that.
Well, that's what we were saying, like on the last podcast, right? Where I was like, I wonder if there's something more to this, because Craig's been critical of the UFC and their involvement in BJJ, because they're getting up to their same anti kind of competitive practices, shenanigans, and locking guys down to these contracts where they can't compete outside the UFC. And in the jiu-jitsu world, the sport's not big enough to be locking guys down like that with these exclusive contracts. So you can't fault the athletes for taking a contract and getting a steady paycheck, but at the same time, it's not helping anybody outside of that, right? So you're really limiting these guys that are in the UFC, BJJ, their ability to compete as well, because they're not competing against the best guys. Like Mikey, he doesn't have these high-level matchups because he's probably the best in the world at his weight, right? So, and he's not getting high-level guys come in to face him. So Craig's been critical, and it's the UFC is petty, man. Like they will, like, you can never underestimate the level of pettiness like they will go to. So, and then what was also suspicious is a post that Gordon Ryan made criticizing Craig about, yeah, you shouldn't be surprised when you talk shit about the UFC, and then this guy pulls out, like, wow. And Craig made a comment. It's like, basically calling Gordon out for that, right? So I wish Gordon would be a little bit more supportive. I know they got beef and whatnot, but it doesn't help the sport when he's really kind of being selfish in a way, where he's being overly critical.
Yeah.
I mean, the controversy, I get the controversy at the end for sure. But Craig, he gave New Wave $1 million. So the amount of money that Craig was able to pump into jiu-jitsu is incredible for the sport, right?
Big time.
The biggest purse a female jiu-jitsu athlete has ever gotten. Helena Carver got that.
It's exciting too. You watch the ADCC, it's super boring.
Yeah.
Even someone exciting like Gordon Ryan comes out.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be in it for a 30-minute
right
cuddle fest.
And it's also confusing other than the main, because you have like multiple matches on the go. So you hear people reacting to things that are not what you're watching, like the crowd cheering. You're hearing the crowd like reacting and cheering to stuff that you're not watching. And you're like, well, fuck, I want to watch. What are they cheering? I want to see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, New Wave won 3 out of the 5 matches in the final, right? It's decided that, and then on the points, on the 10-9 scoring, it ends up being a draw. So now the rules technically state that, as per the last match, whoever won the last match, that's gonna who wins the event if there's a draw. So that, I mean, that's in the rules. So I mean, Craig could have just left it at that. I understand it was like his donor's decision too to pump another $1 million in, but I mean, that's they didn't have to do that.
No.
So, and at the end of the day, I mean, the New Wave guys who won their matches still won their matches, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of disappointing for people to be so critical of it when it's overall it's really good, So
it's the politics, man. It kills everything.
Yeah.
Even like throughout the night, I was watching Gordon Ryan's posts on Instagram.
Yeah.
And they were just hate.
Yeah.
And it's like you have Craig Jones, who created an avenue, like you mentioned,
yeah,
where not only is jiu-jitsu getting more coverage,
right,
more people are watching it, it's exciting, but he's giving them real money, so they don't have to have like a daytime job.
Yeah,
they can just train,
and and then Gordon's saying, okay, the refs are corrupt, the judges are corrupt, the event organizers are corrupt. Okay, like, is John McCarthy, is that guy corrupt? Right? Is Big John McCarthy corrupt? No. Like,
what skin does he have in the game to be corrupt?
Is Justin Flo, like J Flo? He's a judge. Is J Flo corrupt? Like, no, right? So, it's disrespectful just to be that like that hyperbolic about the whole situation. But it's kind of Gordon's style, right?
It is. He's such a prolific jiu-jitsu fighter. He's so fun to watch. He's unstoppable. Super impressive.
Yeah.
But him as a person,
genius, jiu-jitsu,
and it doesn't line up with his like who he is.
Yeah.
He's like such a hater, and his voice, and and again, I love watching him fight, but that don't meet your heroes. It's like he gives you a real look into that. It's like, okay, this guy's.
It's almost like the John Jones type of personality, where for a guy to be that good, you have to be so competitive that you're almost delusionally competitive.
Yeah.
Right? Where you just can't take a balanced approach to anything. You're either all or nothing. So I don't know, but I had a great time watching it.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Love the 2-day format.
Yeah.
It's like an 80s super fight. It's awesome. Very exciting.
Yeah, what other matches were good? There was, Nicky Rod was great to watch. He always fucking brings it. Apparently he was hospitalized like a few days before for something. I don't know if he's gone into it, but even like I remember like watching him, it looked like he was a little bit flat, like with his body looked like a little bit flat, like he didn't look that kind of like beefed up. He almost looked kind of smaller than he usually looks. So that would make sense if he was like sick.
He was great, but he didn't seem like he was bringing his A game. Like he got rolled a couple times.
Did he? He 10-8. He had that 10-8 round at the end against Luke Griffiths, and Luke Griffiths is sick. The takedown he hit on him was sick.
See, I miss the B team versus New Wave
in the finals.
Yeah, I was asleep
at that time.
Yeah,
that was the last match. Yeah,
I got home and watched the 𝐬𝐮𝐬 and Craig Jones fight, and I was like, "Is that fake?" I went to bed.
But Nicky Rod was sick in that final. Like he put the sauce on him. Couldn't submit him, but the takedown he hit, then the pass he hit right after the takedown. I think like he had the double underhooks, had a body lock, took him down with that, and he held onto that body lock the entire time. The way he elevates his hips to get over that kind of knee shield into side control, like he did that instantly. It was super impressive, So, yeah, he's just and they've matched up before, those two guys, and Nicky Rod has beat him before, So
yeah, he's a freak.
The other guy, our Canadian boy, Ethan Creliston, he made out like a bandit that weekend, so he didn't have to compete on Saturday. and then in his two matches that night, he got like fucking balled, and he's sick and he's tough as fuck, but yeah, he ended up with like 200 Gs,
That's awesome.
Victor Hugo was also really impressive. He got a couple of submissions.
Man, that guy is a fucking beast.
Huge, eh?
Yeah. I couldn't believe how big he was when everyone stood up.
Yeah.
And he towers over them.
Right.
He's like thick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see if nobody has been submitted and you're just down to your last two guys, then have that go into overtime. Your last two matches or your last match, have that go into overtime and have that EBI sudden death rule set. So then it makes, and teams knowing that moving forward, then your anchor, whoever's the last guy on your team, like you want them to be confident that that guy's a killer in that sudden death kind of format. So you make things like definitive. Who gives a fuck about like scoring at that point, people just want to see submissions. So, so the scoring doesn't matter. So maybe people are more kind of loose with going for submissions, and then in that final match, make that sudden death. And so you have a guy like Nicky Rod, you'd want him as your anchor, or Victor Hugo, somebody like that, or Bodoni. Bodoni was also one of the highlights of the weekend too. He was sick, and I don't think he tapped. I don't think Bodoni tapped.
Yeah, that was hard because he just it wasn't like a tap. It was like he was grabbing.
It looked like he thought about stripping that leg, and he immediately had the other leg was he immediately identified that other leg was loose and he could strip that. So it's like he went like that to strip that leg and realized he could get this leg off. And then the guy let go and sold it right away. Yeah. Which, you don't let go.
I think that's the reason that I think that match was the reason that the 50K headhunter bonus got put on there.
Yeah.
Because even Craig Jones, when he talked about it,
it seemed like he was kind of pissed. He's like, we're competing for $1 million here. It's like, if you have a submission locked up, you fucking rip it. Right?
Yeah. You break that leg.
Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You don't let go of a submission after like a little Brazilian tap, or a Danny G tap. It's like I call it, right? But anyways, it was So and Bodoni's like one of the best in the world, if not the best in the world. So he didn't look like he was grimacing on his face. It didn't look like it was cranked to the point where the joint was going to break, and that's those guys let that shit go until it's at that point too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm on the side of it wasn't a tap, but people seem kind of split on it, So.
Oh man, it kind of erupted when that whole thing went down.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the same though, I'm looking forward to the next one. They're probably going to have to do the same thing.
Yeah, I hope there isn't a next one. That like this one seemed like it was a bit of a pain in the ass as it was unfolding. And Craig, after his match with 𝐬𝐝, I think they were going to interview him, and he didn't even want to be interviewed. So hopefully that guy needs like a break. Go fly to whatever weird country you want to go to. Do your thing.
Do all the drugs.
Yeah, get a little. Get those health bars back,
Yeah.
A little boost back into the green, and then reset. And
it's going to be interesting now that he's not involved with B Team.
Yeah.
Like where he goes.
Yeah. Yeah. They've rebranded Simple Man Martial Arts. Yeah. So I bought some B Team merch. So
I love the names.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole branding.
Right.
Yeah.
It's too bad. A lot of that is Craig, like, he's so creative, but
he got 1 million tattoos for this competition. Yeah. He got like an MS-13 tattoo.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what's that about? I don't know. The fuck you tattoo on his bottom of his feet is crazy.
Yeah.
Like that. And after he got it done, he even said, he was just like, oh man, it was a big mistake, because I had to walk around on my feet then. And he's like hobbling around for like a month after that. It's like, yeah, dude. Yeah. You got to walk on your feet. Like, couldn't think of a worse place to get a tattoo.
He got this on the gram. He had like a neck tattoo.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Who hurt me?" Like over it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. I know. It's. I was looking forward to it all year. Say ever since the last one. I'd rather watch that than UFC, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the RFK Jr. Make America Healthy Again.
Oh yeah.
Did you read any of that?
No. Whatever was going on recently with him.
Yeah.
No, I'm unaware.
He's like really coming after pharmaceutical companies, and he tied a lot of childhood illnesses like autism to some of the ingredients in vaccines, and also the way that the FDA kind of works with pharmaceutical companies.
My stance on that is, why wouldn't you want to investigate it? right? When the autism rates are up, like so much over the years.
1 in 10 children in America.
Yeah. And they're up an insane amount. And then you have communities like Amish communities who don't have any rates of it or very little. But it's become so politicized that people would rather, that are on the other side of the coin, would rather no investigation into it anyways and just, let this issue persist because they don't want to be seen as anti-vaxxers, right? Because that's such a pariah of a term. But I mean, you have to look into this shit. That's called science, right?
Yeah, especially if you got kids or everyone has been vaccinated.
Yeah.
So don't you want to know what's in your fucking body?
Right.
Especially there's mercury in a number of vaccines. And they were like, well, it's this type of mercury.
Right.
But it's all mercury and it has the same same consequences or possible consequences from taking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of heavy metals. But yeah, so I mean, there is utility to those being in vaccines for some purpose. I'm not aware of it, but then also, what is the flip side? Also,
they don't all have to be created equal. I'm sure there's vaccines that are perfectly safe.
Right, for sure.
Those are great.
Yeah.
The ones that aren't, look into that.
Yeah.
Don't put them in people.
Right. And, getting a vaccine for the sake of just getting it out of the way and getting it done when like the issue is not really significant for a newborn baby.
Yeah.
Like particularly like hepatitis vaccines or whatever. Do you really need to be putting things into a baby at this time? Like at this point when things are sexually transmitted diseases that you would get from like diseases that you get vaccinated for? Like, does a baby need that stuff?
No. Right? You get on the schedule though. You won the lottery.
Right.
So if you can get that on the schedule for babies, then I mean, every American that's born, you're going to make money on.
Right.
It's super nefarious.
Yeah.
The other one was
the incentive. Yeah. When the incentive is that when it's money, then you cannot rule any kind of shenanigans out.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's good. It's funny when they were coming in and RFK Jr, which I like a lot. Like he sued the Hudson Bay, a bunch of, he cleaned up the Hudson Bay.
Yeah.
So he sued all of these corporations that were polluting.
Yeah.
And he sued Monsanto.
Yeah.
For like 𝐸𝐵𝐺 and the cancerous agents that are in it.
Yeah.
He's a hero.
He's always been like an environmentalist, like type of guy, right? Whether it's, having like a healthy ecosystem for nature and for like human biology, right? That's kind of his gig, So yeah, I mean, he receives way too much hate. That guy.
Well, he's in the machine now, so it's you have these large corporations, obviously, that are funding politicians,
right?
And then they're like, all right, run the smear campaign.
Yeah.
Anti-vaxxer, drug addicts. You know, the guy's been sober for like 40 years.
Yeah.
It's like, he was doing heroin and acid, and he had a he had a parasite in his brain. And they were like, it
really?
made him crazy. Yeah, he had like a parasite in his brain. He had to get removed.
Jesus.
It was
like a big worm or something.
Something scary. He was in some strange country and ended up picking up a parasite.
I don't think I've had any parasites. But I would not want something crawling around in my body.
No.
Like an alien. Like, there's a new Alien series, Alien Earth. It's a fun watch.
Okay.
It's a fun show to watch. It's not a perfect show, but it's enjoyable. And the Alien series where like the chest burster. Where the face hugger will shoot out an egg, go onto your face.
Mouth fuck you and drop its eggs.
Essentially. Yeah. There's a lot of sexual kind of rapey undertones in the Alien series. And that's what's so kind of disturbing about it. And a lot of like phallic art designs.
Big time. The aliens are just basically big dicks with a dick in their mouth.
Right.
That shoots at you.
Dicks on dicks.
Dicks on dicks.
So, but But yeah, so I mean that would be uncomfortable to get an alien injected into your body and then have it
pop out of your chest. Yeah,
that would be a hard way to go. I think
it would be. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, unpleasant.
Yeah, you're just the last moment of your life is just screaming, and you're looking at this thing coming out of you. Yeah. So yeah. I wouldn't want an RFK parasite, whatever that was, either.
Well, years ago, I listened to this guy that used to run Vice when it was like more of a news org. Is that still around? I don't even know.
I think it is. Are you talking about Shane, Canadian guy?
Yeah, Shane.
Shane something.
Shane something for sure.
Yeah.
He was talking about he got a parasite. He ate like street meat, and he had to take this like drug, and then he had to shit it out. And when he seen it, that's what it looked like an alien. Yeah. Imagine that. I wouldn't be able to look. Imagine that thing floating in your toilet. It's just in your stomach,
I'd look. Yeah.
Take it out.
Yeah.
Put it in a cup.
Yeah, man. It's disturbing stuff.
Well, back in the Victorian age, I think it was the Victorian age, they would get tapeworms on purpose so that they'd lose weight.
Really?
Yeah.
You got a little buddy inside.
Yeah, eating the food.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they'd lose weight.
That's crazy.
It's wild.
Is it a myth, or is it confirmed like that the tapeworms, if you haven't eaten for a while, you're starving yourself, then they come up looking for food, and that's when you snatch them. The doctor will snatch them and then, pull them out.
Like a magic trick.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Or I don't know if it's a myth, or that was my understanding on how they got rid of them back then.
They just hold like a chicken nugget.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah. McDonald's nuggets, man. They're irresistible. So
wave that in front of you.
Speaking of health stuff, there was the Putin and President Xi Jinping. They just had this big fucking parade in China, celebrating the World War II and getting the Japanese out of China. And so Putin, Kim Jong-un was invited. So it's Kim Jong-un, Putin, and Xi Jinping. And the three of them are walking down this kind of courtyard or whatever. And it was on a hot mic through their translators that they were talking about immortality and living forever through organ transplants.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I was talking about there a couple of weeks ago about Rockefeller, famous like Rockefeller back in the day. Apparently he had a bunch of heart transplants. They would like take the heart of like a young person, implant it into him, and he's like this old kind of vampire guy that was trying to live forever. But Xi Jinping was saying to Putin that through organ transplants and biotechnology that's being developed, we can potentially extend our lives to 150 years old, if not immortality, if not forever. And they're like having a laugh about it.
Come see our human firm.
That's some mustache twirling, like, bad guy stuff, hey?
Oh, dude, that is demon shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that,
because if those guys need an organ, they're getting an organ.
Of course.
Right.
I'm sure they have the organs. They probably have an orphanage full of organs right now.
Yeah. A selection, a buffet of organs.
Yeah. They're just choosing athletes. Give me that guy's stomach.
Yeah, that guy's in shape. We'll take that one. Yeah.
You've been chosen for a meal at Putin's house.
Yeah, and people are so indoctrinated. They're like, oh my God. Like, I would love to give you my kidneys, right?
Here.
You want a liver? You want a new heart? That's the weird thing about heart transplants too, is that the heart seems to be connected to the brain in some weird way that we don't understand. And when there's been heart transplants, people have taken on some personality traits of their donors.
Wow.
That's been documented. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. How weird is that?
That's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Who's that guy, the Bush's right-hand man?
Cheney.
Yeah. And he had He had a heart transplant.
I think that guy's got like a mechanical heart.
Really?
Yeah. I don't even think it's a transplant. I think it's like, you know, made of plastic and wood and steel or something, you know?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
He seems like he's
Lockheed Martin made it for him, you know?
Yeah.
So, but
it's got a missile system. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean it's creepy, man. Like here you can't even get a fucking, you know, you're on a couple of year waiting list for an ultrasound if you tear a bicep or something, you know? And but if you're one of those guys,
yeah, let's pick a child and extend your life 50 years. Yeah, I've been in this huge rabbit hole with Larry Fink and the World Economic Forum, which is super not healthy for me.
Yeah,
because at night when everyone goes to sleep, I'll start like reading about it, and it's hard because the propaganda comes from both sides, you know. So you gotta really look at it with an open mind.
Yeah, you get
what are they?
Alex Jones, they're interdimensional vampires.
Exactly.
Yeah. Demon vampires, and on one side, and then it's on the other side of they're, you know, saving humanity. Yeah, it's weird because it seems like the United Kingdom and then, you know, Canada being and Australia being, you know, still under the crown, they're all on the same page when it comes to their like policies on all this kind of stuff. And the way the UK is going is seems it's like a police state. It's totalitarianism. There was a guy that was on Rogan just 3 weeks ago, Graham Lineham, and seemed like a super sweet guy. But he made some kind of a joke on Twitter critical of trans people, and he traveled to the UK there the other day, and they had 5 police officers waiting for him at the airport, arrested him at the airport for a tweet.
Jesus Christ!
Like that is some backwards fucking shit.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah, no, that is a dictatorship.
Yeah, like that, super scary how you know, like a society can devolve in that way. And I saw like Elon Musk commented on it. J.K. Rowling, she commented on it too. You know, but like if Trump didn't win and the United States wasn't kind of the world leader as they are now on like freedom of expression and speech, like they're like the last bastion. The U.S. is like the last bastion of that. I feel like in the world right now, you know. So everywhere else just seems like they're losing their fucking minds.
Well, they're still on the track.
Yeah,
and that's really what it seems like.
Yeah,
we have a bill, the Online Safety Act.
Yeah,
that, I mean, it's set up and ready to go for censoring people and putting them in prison for what they say.
Right. Because
anything can be hate speech.
Yeah, and that's essentially what like the UK has.
Yeah.
Right. And they're pumping the resources in to enforce it. In Canada, it hasn't been enforced that much, right?
Well, right now it seems like the push is like it. So in tech, if we're going to roll out a big change, we're going to use a different platform. If we're going to change, even like we're going to switch from one cloud provider to another, it's like a phased rollout.
Right.
So it's like phase 1, here's what we do. Phase 2, this will change. Phase 3.
Yeah. And
it feels like we're all in different phases of the same plan.
Yeah. And death by a billion cuts.
Oh, it's well, you know, tinfoil hat, but again, you look at the World Economic Forum, the net zero rolls out from them, and every one of these guys, like Mark Carney, France, their prime minister or president, what do they have?
They got president in France, yeah.
The UK, Australia, Ireland, Scotland, they all attend the World Economic Forum. And
King Charles is one of those guys too.
Yeah, he's huge into it. And he speaks there, and he, like, when he got inaugurated, I don't know if that's what happens with the king, but you know,
something like that.
Yeah. He was pressing the World Economic Forum buttons, and I think he even spoke you know? So you have their list of the Great Reset.
Yeah.
And it's all like 15-minute cities. Climate change is great for that because you can start pushing people out of the forest. It's too dangerous, you know, and
climate
rural areas are the ones getting hit.
Yeah.
So it's like push them into cities.
Yeah.
And no more gas cars. It's like, well, we live in a cold place. They won't work here.
Right.
If it's super hot, it fucks with them too.
Yeah.
So people won't really be able to freely travel. And DEI was huge. And the best way to enforce that shit is throwing people in prison for saying stuff. And then you have mass immigration. And it's not legal, which is great, you know, legally immigrate anywhere you want. I'd like to immigrate somewhere. You know, I love to go to the US.
Right.
But they open the borders. I heard we have like 800,000 illegal immigrants that moved here this year.
Yeah.
And it's happening in all these places, and it's a clash of values.
Right.
Where it's like, you know, we respect women as are equal as men.
Right.
And they don't. You know, it's like
that's their culture. I mean, it's just that's just a fact, right? In
big
a lot
time.
of places,
and you look at Klaus. He said, last year he said, prepare for an angrier world. What the fuck does that mean? You know, we got this unelected guy who dresses up like a priest. Exactly. Yeah. And he's telling us what's rolling out like it's happening.
Like, who the fuck are you?
Exactly.
You're
and he's like the stakeholder economy, which is all the corporations that are also World Economic Forum members. It's creepy, man.
Do you see what the NDP? Their leadership. So they're limiting. So the NDP, a political party in Canada that is it's just becoming a complete joke.
Yeah.
They're limiting the number of cis men, cis men, CIS, cis men, their signatures of who's going to decide for their next leader of their party. You know, so it's discrimination, right? Like that is the definition of discrimination. So
by their sexual orientation, sex, and their I think they threw white in there too.
I don't think they did that.
No, okay. Well, just their gender and their sexual orientation. Right. So
so if you're a man, you identify as a trans woman or whatever, then you can vote. If you're a woman that identifies as a man, you can vote, right? But just normal old, you know, Joe, Joe six-pack or whatever, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know? So
that's going to work out well. That's going to work out well for them.
Man, oh man. But like Canadians, like they're so like, our culture in Canada, we're not like ambitious people, it seems like, right? And that seems to bleed over into a lot of these social issues where we just let shit happen. And you have these people that get elected and they latch onto this extremist ideology and just implement it. And people are like, oh, okay, well, fuck.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I don't want to be a bigot.
Yeah, that's a problem. I don't agree with that. Yeah, but I don't want to, you know, hurt anybody's feelings. You know? So if one person's feelings get hurt, that's another thing where in Toronto recently, I think this past week, they put on an air show with F-35s, which I would have loved to see. And there was this uproar from people complaining that seeing those fighter jets has triggered the Palestinian community in Toronto, and how dare the government and the military be so insensitive towards Palestinians.
And then our government goes, "You're right."
Yeah, and
you're right.
Like that is just so weak and lame and childish.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you know, how arrogant and the hubris or whatever it is, whatever term you want to put on it, do you have to be as a person to think that you deserve to walk through life without the risk of being offended by some person?
Yeah.
Right. Like you deserve that. Right?
Especially if you leave a place that's war torn.
Right.
You show up here, you're housed, you're given food.
Yeah.
and it's a free society.
Yeah.
Where you can walk
around.
But it's not
even like those kind of people that are coming here. It's the fucking idiots that are already here who've lived these do nothing soft ass fucking lives of privilege, that read about this shit in a textbook or discuss it in the classroom and don't understand any of the practicality of what they're discussing in the real world, right? I mean, it's very annoying.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is because of that, like they have the whole media system here. CBC, which used to be a staple. I used to watch CBC. They used to have good shows. Never really watched hockey or anything, but it was huge for that.
Yeah.
But it's been completely taken over by whatever government propaganda they want to pour out. CTV followed suit, Global News.
Right.
They're all saying the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's all whatever the liberal government's pushing.
Yeah.
And then you look at Pierre, they're still attacking him.
Yeah.
You know, they're still attacking Pierre Poilievre. And his whole thing was, we should lower taxes and give more money and stop funding global initiatives.
Right.
It's like, that makes perfect sense. We're broke.
Yeah.
You know, it's
people should feel like they're safe from not getting murdered in their own homes.
Yeah.
He says stuff like that.
Yeah. You know? I mean, crazy stuff like that. What about the murderer? You know, no one thinks about them.
Yeah.
It's
like, you know, that murderer could have had a poor childhood. You know,
exactly.
Haven't you understood that?
Exactly.
Like, you know,
don't send the police. Send psychiatrists.
Right. Yeah,
send them in an ambulance.
We need a social worker to go arrest or to go, you know, talk to that murderer first. You know, determine if there's any childhood trauma that needs to be addressed.
Exactly. Right? I mean, he tried to murder me, but there's a lot of pain in there.
Yeah, it's like fucking bizarro world. It's because I feel like our society has become a parody, you know, and we're just on this track to destruction by our own kind of stupidity.
Yeah,
you know? So,
and the leadership, it's creating a division, and it's pouring other cultures in that don't share our values. So it's creating a chaos.
Yeah,
and you see the UK. That's us next year. Yeah, possibly. You know,
logic is just thrown out the window.
Yeah,
you know, like having a stance like we need a reasonable amount of immigration that doesn't put a strain on our infrastructure, or, you know, like point blank, like that is like, that's a logical statement and it's a reasonable statement, but that, you know, you're labeled then as a racist or anti-immigration.
Yeah.
Right? If you take that stance, if you say that publicly.
Yeah, they polarize you immediately. Right. You can't have a center stance.
Yeah.
They hate that.
Right.
So it's either everyone's can come in whenever they want, or you're a racist.
Yeah. And the reason why we can help people in the first place is because we are responsible with the assets and our resources that we have right now. You know, so when we're irresponsible with those things, then we're not going to have the ability to help people in need around the world in the future.
Yeah,
right? We're just going to be, you know, continue to be a shit show. So, yeah, it's very frustrating for, I guess, people with like an IQ over, that's more than like the fucking temperature of the room, right? So, I don't know, man. I don't know how bad it's going to get, but it seems like it's still going to get worse. It seems like it's going to get worse and worse.
Well, it has lost no steam.
Yeah.
Before the election, they slowed down a bit.
Yeah.
They read the room.
And they lied about their intentions about immigration. They already, they had their numbers halfway through the year. They hit 800,000 new immigrants for Canada, when for the whole year they were talking about like 400,000.
Yeah.
You know, so they doubled that in half a year, right? So, and they tried to hide the numbers, and Poilievre brought attention to that, right? So, and there's no repercussions for any of the lies. It's just constant lies and bullshit.
Yep.
You know, but people are so politically just polarized. They don't care if their team is lying. like their team lying and getting away with it is still a win.
It's us versus them instead of looking at it as a Canadian.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want your children to be able to buy a house?
Yeah.
And have grandchildren?
Yeah.
Do you want to be able to get an MRI if you need one?
Right.
Before you die? You know, it's
yeah.
But that's the thing. We need enough numbers so that people start to complain, and then they can start going to prison for complaining online.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like the hate speech thing is great branding, because it's like, this bill is going to protect people from hate speech.
Yeah.
We'll tell you what hate speech is.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
And always their intent behind implementing a bill like that and labeling it hate speech or racism or something, their practices are always inherently racist or hateful, you know. So they always gaslight people by saying, like, you're the racist one, while, you know, discriminating against like certain portions of the population.
Big time.
You know, so
yeah. Well, they've normalized it.
Yeah.
You can get away with saying a white person is privileged. I grew up in a place that there was a lot of poor people, and they had zero privilege.
Yeah.
You know,
right?
They were growing up in a small apartment with like a big family.
Yeah.
And so, like, we talked about this before, but that's why racism is so stupid, is because people have individual circumstances.
Yeah.
You know, if you grow up in a wheelchair and you meet a Japanese guy and he grew up in a wheelchair, you got more in common with that guy than you do, you know, probably your brother.
Right.
It's, you got your own struggles.
Shared struggles.
Exactly.
And shared struggles are always the most bonding kind of thing. That's why, like, guys in the military or like policing and stuff, like most of my best friends are cops, right? So we've had shared struggles, you know, and, you know, like, even like, just bring it back to jiu-jitsu. You know, like, it's very easy to make conversation with guys, like, especially after like hard rules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you know, when you're going through difficult shit together, it's bonding and you feel comfortable with each other, right?
Big time.
You know, so yeah, it's a silly world we live in.
It is. Yeah. It's chaotic, and it's getting bigger, and
everywhere's popping off, it seems like.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
well, Australia's had enough. I seen that they started to burn other countries' flags, and they're out there waving their own flag. The UK is...
People are getting arrested for displaying like the Union Jack or whatever.
Yeah, their own flag, you know, and
fucked.
And
it's the Canadian flag too has been labeled in that way, like from the trucker protest too. It was like, you know, if you're displaying a Canadian flag, then you're people were like, oh, that's a far right extremist.
Yeah.
Right? And essentially like labeling people Nazis for displaying their flag of their own country.
Well, you can't be proud of your country, can't be a nationalist.
No.
You know, even that has connotations that are negative.
What are you, a Nazi?
Now. Yeah, know? Exactly.
The Nazis, they were a nationalist party, right?
That's right.
You know, the Nationalist Socialist Party.
You can't be like, you know, we're going to take care of Canada.
Right.
It's like, well, what does that mean? Yeah. Who are you excluding?
Yeah, you trying to be America first in Canada?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's too bad, dude. I don't know. We got to get out of here.
We do.